We're going to read Beowulf, starting with chapter 38. Dover Thrift Editions, translated by Robert K. Gordon, published in 2015. When I heard that the son of Weohstan, after the speeches quickly obeyed his wounded lord, stricken in battle, bore his ringed corslet, his woven shirt of mail, under the roof of the barrow. Then, exulting in victory, the brave kinsman Thane, as he went by the seat, beheld many costly ornaments, gold gleaming along the ground, wondrous work on the wall, and the lair of the dragon, the old flyer at twilight, vessels standing, goblets of olden time, lacking a furbisher, reft of their ornaments. There was many a helm, ancient and trusty, many bracelets cunningly bound. Treasure, gold on the ground, may easily madden any man, conceal it who will. Likewise he saw a banner all gilt lying high above the hoard, greatest of wonders wrought by hand, cunningly woven in stitches. A gleam shone forth from it so that he might see the floor, behold the jewels. There was no trace of the dragon there, for the sword had carried him off. Then I heard that one man rifled the hoard, the old work of giants in the mound, laid in its bosom flagons and dishes at his own will, took also the banner, brightest of beacons. The sword of the old chieftain, its edge was iron, had earlier laid low him who long while was guardian of the treasure. He bore with him to guard the treasure a dread-hot flame, blazing out in battle at midnight, till violently he perished. The messenger was in haste, eager to return, urged on by the treasures. Desire was strong on him to know whether he, the courageous one, should find the mortally wounded prince of the Weders alive in that place where erstwhile he left him. Then with the treasures he found the famous prince, his lord bleeding, at the end of his life. Again he began to dash water upon him until speech came from him. Then the warrior spoke. The aged man in his pain, he gazed on the gold. Quotes, I give thanks in words to the Prince, the King of glory, the eternal Lord, for all the adornments which I behold here, that I have been able to win such for my people before my death day. Now have I sold my old life for the hoard of treasures. Attend ye now to the need of my people. No longer may I tarry here. Bid the men famed in battle raise at the sea headland a gleaming mound after the burning. It shall tower high on Hronesness, a reminder to my people, so that seafarers may afterwards call it Beowulf's Barrow, when from afar the ships drive over the dark sea. The prince of brave mind took from his neck a golden ring, gave to the Thane, the young spear warrior, his helm bright with gold, his ring and corslet, bade him use them well. Quote, Thou art the last of our race, of the Waegmundings. Fate has swept all my kinsmen away to their destiny, earls in their might. I must needs follow them. End quote. That was the last word from the old man's thoughts before he sought the pyre, the hot, fierce surges of flame. His soul passed from his breast to seek the splendor of the saints. All right, here we have 39. Then was it sorrow for the young man to see on the earth the man he loved best, his life closed, lying there helpless. The slayer also lay low, the dread earth dragon, reft of life, vanquished by violence. No longer could the coiled dragon keep guard over the treasure stores, but iron blades, sharp, battle-notched swords, forged by hammers, carried him off, so that the wide flyer sank to the ground near the treasure house, still from his wounds. No more did he wheel in his flight through the air at midnight, no more made his appearance exulting in costly possessions, but he fell to the earth because of the warrior's handiwork. Few of a truth among men, among those of might in the land, as I have heard, though they were eager for all exploits, have succeeded in rushing against the blast of the venomous foe, or seizing with hands the hall of rings, if they found the guardian on watch dwelling in the barrow. Beowulf had paid with his death for the many costly treasures. Each had gone to the end of fleeting life. It was not long then till the cowards left the wood, weak failures in loyalty, the 10 together, who durst not before wield spears in their lord's great need, but shamefully they bore their shields, the war gear, where the old man lay. They looked at Wiglaf. He, the foot warrior, sat wearied, hard by the prince's shoulders, tried to recall him with water. No whit did he succeed. He could not, though dearly he wished, keep life in the prince on earth, nor alter the will of the Almighty. The might of God was pleased to show its power over all men by its deeds, as he yet does now. Then a grim speech came readily from the youth to those who erstwhile had lost their courage. Wiglaf spoke, son of Weohstan, a man sad at heart. He looked at the hated men. Quote, Lo, he who wishes to tell the truth can say that the Lord who gave you treasures, warlike adornments, wherein ye stand there, when on the ale bench he often bestowed on men, sitting in a hall, a prince to his thanes, helmet and corslet, the most excellent he could anywhere find, far or near, that doubtless he miserably cast away the garments of war, when battle beset him. The people's king had indeed no cause to boast of his comrades in fight, yet God, the disposer of victories, granted that he alone with his sword avenged himself when he had need of might. Small protection to his life could I afford him in the fight, and yet I tried to aid my kinsman beyond my power. When with the sword I smote the deadly foe, he grew ever weaker, his fire surged out less strongly from his breast. Too few protectors passed round the prince when the time came upon him. Now the receiving of jewels, giving of swords, all the splendid heritage, and life's necessities shall pass away from your race. Every man of the people shall wander stripped of his rights in the land, when chieftains from afar hear of your flight. The inglorious act, death is better for all earls than a shameful life. All right, one more short chapter here. Number 40. He bade then the battle he proclaimed in the entrenchment up over the sea cliff, where the troop of earls, bearing their shields, sat sad in mind the whole morning, expecting both issues, the death and the return of the loved man. He who rode on the headland held back little of the fate tidings, but truthfully he told them all. Now is the giver of delights among the people of the Weders, the lord of the Geats, fast in his deathbed. He bides in his slaughterous couch by the deeds of the dragon. By his side lies the deadly foe, stricken with knife wounds. He could not in any way deal a wound to the monster with a sword. Wiglaf, son of Weohstan, sits over Beowulf, the earl over the other lifeless one. Reverently he keeps watch over friend and foe. Now there is prospect of a time of strife for the people, when the fall of the king becomes widely known to Franks and Frisians. The harsh strife with the Hugas was brought about when Hygelac went to the land of the Frisians with a navy, where the Hetwer laid him low in battle. They did mightily with their greater numbers, so that the corslet warrior was forced to yield. He fell mid his troops. The prince gave no adornments to his veterans. To us ever since the good will of the Merovingian king has been denied. Nor do I expect any peace or good faith from the people of Sweden, for it is widely known that Ongentheow robbed Hæthcyn, son of Hrethel, of life near Ravenswood. When the warlike Sylphings first sought in their pride the people of the Geats, straightway the aged father of Ohtere, old and terrible, dealt him a blow in return. Killed the sea guide, the old man freed the bride, the wife reft of her gold, the mother of Onella and Ohtere, and then he followed his deadly foes, till with difficulty they escaped, leaderless, to Ravenswood. Then he besieged with a mighty host those who had escaped the sword, wearied from wounds. Often through the livelong night he threatened the wretched band with misery. He said that in the morning he would do them hurt with the edge of the sword, some on the gallows tree, for the sport of the birds. With dawn came relief again of the woeful, when they heard Higelac horn and the blare of the trumpet, when the valiant one came on the track of the warriors of the people. And we'll end there. Next one will be 41.